Am I unmuted? अब हो गया वीडियो? बैकग्राउंड चेंज कर ले सब पीछे का। तो वही देख रहा था कैसे करूं। पीछे जाके वीडियो में चेंज वर्चुअल बैकग्राउंड। ये वीडियो कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा, अनम्यूट है। चलिए वीडियो दिखा दे रहा है। वीडियो अगर आपको बैकग्राउंड से यहाँ पीछे से अभी वीडियो वैसे ठीक लग रहा है दिखने से? ठीक है फिर आगे वो लग रहा है धुंधला टाइप लग रहा है। हाँ बट मेरे पास बैकग्राउंड चेंज करने का ऑप्शन नहीं है। ऐप से नहीं आपने किया है? डाउनलोड होगा। अच्छा, कैन यू हियर मी? हेलो, अब ये बोला यू कांट अनम्यूट। अपलोड करो। हाँ सर, हियर मी? हाँ सर, मैं हेलो सर, आई एम ऑडिबल सर? हियर मी? हेलो, कैन यू हियर मी? यस सर, आई कैन हियर यू सर। But it's saying that you can't unmute. Can you hear me, Vipan? Yes sir, I can hear you sir. ठीक है, if you can hear me, it's fine. सर वीडियो दिखाई दे रही है? Hello, can you hear me? Yes, yes, we can hear you sir. But it's saying that you are muted. क्या भेजा भाई? Because sir, your हेलो, आई एम ऑडिबल सर? प्लीज। हेलो, हाँ जी बोलिए बोलिए। सर अभी आवाज आ रही है? पहले भी आ रही होगी आपको, पर वो इससे इट सीम्स दैट आई एम लॉग्ड इन फ्रॉम टू प्लेसेस, नो? हेलो, हेलो, आपने सर दो हेलो, यस, आपने दो जगह से लॉगिन किया है क्या? Now I hope it's okay, ना? Yes, yes, it's fine, sir. There is an echo coming. नहीं, अब बढ़िया सर, एकदम बैकग्राउंड अच्छा लग रहा है। नहीं, बैकग्राउंड नहीं, आपकी तरफ से इको आ रहा है क्या? नहीं नहीं सर, कुछ नहीं, बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है सर। बैकग्राउंड भी अच्छा हो गया सर, आपने भी चेंज कर लिया, ठीक है। हेलो, हाँ जी बोलिए। यस, बैकग्राउंड चेंज हो गया सर आपका। यस, इधर नहीं, hello, I think it is better now, na? My voice? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's fine. Perfect, perfect.
So David, good morning, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very fine and nice to see you after a long time on our platform. Huh?
Exactly.
Yes.
It's about time. And
Sir,
how are you? How are you?
I'm very fine, sir. Things are going pretty well, sir. And now, along with you, sir, you can see one of our distinguished alum, Jagdish ji, and he is a very senior executive in the one of the famous FMCG firms, ITC, actually, sir. Okay, sir.
Very nice. Very
He's
nice.
based in the eastern part of India, Kolkata, and
Nice.
also one of our very good friend who was part of your book from Indian edition, Professor Ravi Shankar ji.
Hello, good evening, David. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Perfect, fine, good.
So recently, Professor David Jagdish ji has organized a very good course for their senior executives actually, where they have seen that how the newer decision-making tools are being implemented in the different aspects of supply chains. And we have been lucky to be part of that course. And of course, most of the contribution goes to you for, like initiating all such activities with us. And hopefully, the current course also is going to have a lot of traction, sir. More than close to 1,000 participants are there in this course this time, sir. Okay, sir. Hmm.
Yes. And
Yeah.
we have been doing this now for many years.
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
you
That's
remember? Do you remember the first
yes.
time we did it? The first time we did it was at the beginning of the pandemic.
Pandemic. Close, very high, intensity of pandemic at that time it was there. So somewhere around first one workshop we conducted and then course, sir. Correct. This was
Exactly.
yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Very
And
nice.
so how's the weather, sir, there at your place, sir?
It's beautiful. Now, winter here is not very nice, but summer is beautiful. And what
I see.
about you? What about you?
Yes. Heavy rain, sir, coming and going in Bombay, sir. Hmm.
Yeah.
And
I'm waiting to visit you. I'm waiting
yes,
to
yes.
visit
Yes, sir. They do. And Ravi Shankar ji, how is the weather in Delhi, sir?
It's raining. Off and on, it's raining.
I see. Jagdish ji in Calcutta? Unmute करिए जगदीश जी unmute. हाँ जगदीश जी you unmute.
Yeah.
You're not audible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir? Now.
Now we can hear you, please.
Okay. So it's also raining out over here,
Oh,
on and
very good.
off.
So, sir, now you can find Professor David, entire India is having witnessing very good amount of rain, actually, sir. Okay.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so this year, this semester, what are you covering, Professor David, to MBA students? Any course you are teaching this time?
Yes. So we are teaching generative AI for decision making.
I see.
Yeah.
Very good. So, Professor David, with your permission, I think now it's 5 and we can start ceremony, sir. That will be better. Okay? Because
Yes.
we are going close to the 400. So that will be better. So that you can also get enough time to cover at least 1.5 hours today. More than that. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. So coordinator, please, you can start the program.
Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to the inaugural session of Global Online Certification course on Supply Chain Management 2025. On behalf of Institute of Management Mumbai, I would like to thank all the dignitaries, faculty and course participants for gracing us with their presence on this occasion as we begin this journey of learning. We are honored to have as our chief guest Mr. Jagdish Kunchik, a Executive Vice President, Supply Chain and Logistics at ITC Limited. We are also privileged to have Mr. Prateek Pujari, Founder and COO, Less Transport, as a guest of honor, and Professor Ravi Shankar, Department of Management Studies at IIT Delhi. In today's complex and dynamic business environment, smart supply chain strategies are essential for driving efficiencies, resilience, and sustainability. To address this growing need, IIM Mumbai proudly presents the Smart Supply Chain Management 2025 course. This course empowers professionals with cutting-edge knowledge in supply chain digitization, risk management, and sustainable operations, enabling data-driven decision and future-ready leadership. We thank everyone for overwhelming response to this course. Without further ado, I would now like to call Harsh, the student coordinator for the course, to give a brief about our institute, the course, and its registration statistics.
Thank you, Vatsala. So, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the inauguration ceremony of this transformative course. We are thrilled to have you all here as we embark on this exciting journey together. Today marks the beginning of an enriching experience that promises to equip you with valuable knowledge and skill sets, empowering you to make a significant impact in your respective fields. Together, let us inaugurate this course with enthusiasm and a shared commitment to excellence. May this be the beginning of a transformative and rewarding educational journey for each one of us. Now, let me give you a brief about IIM Mumbai. IIM Mumbai, previously known as NEETI, was established by the Government of India in 1963 with the assistance of United Nations Development Programme and International Labour Organization. It is ranked 6th in the NIRF ranking amongst the top management institutes across India. IIM Mumbai is committed to creating skilled professionals in diverse functional areas like operation and supply chain management, analytics, finance, marketing, project management, HR, information technology, and sustainability management. IIM Mumbai, under the dynamic leadership of Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, has become the nodal hub for capacity building in logistics and supply chain management to promote the PM Gati Shakti Master Plan. IIM Mumbai students have regular interactions and sessions with industry leaders and leading researchers, especially in supply chain and operations management. Now, speaking about something about the course, following the phenomenal success of previous global online certification courses, IIM Mumbai proudly introduces the global online certification course on Smart Supply Chain Management 2025. Over the next 12 lectures, you will master end-to-end logistics, optimize procurement strategies, and leverage data-driven decision-making. You will also gain expertise in inventory management, demand forecasting, and sustainable supply chain practices. You will learn to design efficient supply chain solutions applicable to global business challenges. We will also delve into case discussions on Ford, PepsiCo, high-tech, COVID-19, Russia-Ukraine war, etc. You will learn how to apply the risk exposure index to identify vulnerable nodes across your supply network and evaluate potential impact. Using stress testing techniques like TTR, time to recover, and TTS, time to survive, you will develop the ability to simulate disruptions and make informed strategic decisions. The course also explores how supply chain flexibility through alternate sourcing, production shifts, and lead time buffers affects the inventory planning and responsiveness, ensuring continuity without overstocking. Introducing our course instructors, Professor David Semji Levy. He is a global authority in supply chain and data analytics and director of the Data Science Lab at MIT, USA. In 2024, Professor Simchi Levy was appointed the William Barton Rogers Professorship at MIT. In 2020, he received the Informs Impact Prize for his groundbreaking work in identifying and mitigating global supply chain risks. Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari is himself a stalwart in operation and supply chain management domain with over 320 plus publications in international journals. He also received the Most Influential Researcher Award in this domain. He is rated second among the many researchers working in logistics and supply chain management. IIM Mumbai has successfully completed global online certification courses in diverse fields like supply chain digitization and management, end-to-end supply chain transformation through digitization, and business and operations analytics, and many more. The course received an overwhelming response with over 22,000 plus individuals from reputed national and international organizations. Some prominent academic institutions include the IITs, IIMs, IIFT, University of London, University of Warwick, and some eminent organizations include Micron, Accenture, HPCL, Cipla, HUL, PNG, GE, and many more. Some of the organizations which were a part of this course are Micron, Tata Steel, Accenture, Cipla, Wipro, and many more. We also received overwhelming participation from educational institutes like IIM Bangalore, IIM Lucknow, IFEE, and other prominent institutes from all over the world. We appreciate your involvement and thank you for spending the valuable time for this session. Over to you, Vatsala.
Thank you, Harsh. Now I would like to call upon Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Director of IIM Mumbai, for the welcome address. Professor Tiwari is the Director of IIM Mumbai, additionally Vice Chancellor of Tata Institute of Social Science. He is a higher academic grade professor from the Department of Industrial and System Engineering at IIT Kharagpur. He has been awarded the prestigious David F. Becker Distinguished Research Award from the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineering, IISE. He is the first ever researcher and professional based in India to receive this award. He has published more than 350 papers in reputed international journals and is also the recipient of Most Influential Researcher Award in the domain of Operation and Supply Chain Management. It is because of his television and leadership that this course has been made possible. Director sir, I kindly request you to share a few words.
Thank you, Vasala. And let me express my profound regards to Professor David Simchilevi, who is our, icon with respect to the deeper contributions that a single individual I have made in the domain of supply chain management. All of us who are in academics, as well as those who are in the applied research, they know that how much Professor David has contributed in promoting the several components of supply chain, and which has become the industry benchmark, and many of the firms case study that he has done, they are now known as one of the main source of knowledge for rest of the world people who are working in this particular topic. And it's my good luck that in 2021, when during the peak period of COVID, he agreed to partner with us, and right from that very day, our journey started and move in very faster manner to the different topics. And it's around 16th course that we are conducting together, and more than 30,000 peoples we have trained in the different aspects of logistics and supply chain. I also noticed that varying type of topics and all the emerging themes are being included in the several courses that we conducted. And these are all the testamounts of, like how the growing challenges which comes in the supply chain, that we jointly try to find out under his, main research themes, that how this can be imparted to the executives of supply chain and learners of also that area, so that more efficient operations can be ensured actually. And I tell you, friends, David that does not require any introduction because of his, like larger than life image and award and other things that you people told. I just want to cite some more very personal thing about Professor David. You can see that whenever we talk about the research contributions, we all know that anybody whose work is being, quoted by policy planners of a country, and then it's a big pride for that particular scholar. So David is one among them, that his work are regularly being quoted in the different economic forums of the government who plans for several policy planning in the US. And last year he shared with me one such document where his contribution on stress test, and also that how the resiliency can be, be one of the benchmark for giving better performance in supply chain was one of the key highlight of that report. In addition to that, one of the, very prestigious recognition that one gets in his life is the fellowship of their own country's academy. And Professor Devi, because of his contribution, he has been declared as a fellow of National Academy of Engineering in 2023 by the US federal bodies. And I also found some of the top journals like Management Science, Operations Research, Naval Research Logistics, where it's very difficult to publish a paper. Are those journals, Professor David was editor in chief and also contributed heavily towards those papers and became the one of the key figures, respected figures, and also almost every forum wherever there is a talk of improvement in supply chain, they could not find better speaker than Professor David Simsilevi. And I noticed some of the, you can see that how contemporary work he is doing. I'm citing some of his work. Then you can easily imagine that where he is moving every time and how he's ahead of the curve with respect to time. Like say simple and optimal policy design with safety against heavy tail risk for stochastic bandits. So these are the some one work like say how the learning mixed multinomial logistics with provable guarantees and its application in multi-product pricing. Let's say blind network revenue management and bandits with the knapsack under limited features. When I reading the name, I can guess that how difficult it is to understand those things. But they are the benchmarks for topic for improving productivity in days to come. Let's say model-free non-stationary reinforced learning, near optimal regret applications in multi-agent reinforced learning and inventory control. That means part of agentic AI contributions. Then Bayesian mechanism designed for blockchain transactions fee allocation, which is one of the very recent innovation that are being used in the traceability of supply chain. So, sir, really we are lucky enough that you have been one of the very dependable and trustworthy friend who helped us to become some known entity in India also with respect to the logistics and supply chain management. And for that, we all ever will be grateful. And today also among us, our guest, we have Jagdish ji, he our own distinguished alumni and executive vice president of supply chain and logistics at the ITC. And well, we know that more than, a network of 100 factories, so many distribution centers, so many SKUs that are being managed under his leadership. And his expertise is there in network design and optimization, integrated demand planning. And we feel always pride that Jagdish ji was very forthright in propagating the name and fame of IIM Mumbai among the professionals of logistics and supply chain in FMCG industry. And my friend who is well known for pursuing research, good teaching, and industry connect, Professor Ravi Shankar from IIT Delhi, Department of Management Studies. He also does not require any, introduction. And I can say that our friendship goes date back to somewhere 92, 93, and when we were all struggling to do our PhDs. And Professor Ravi Shankar is leading a 30 and almost 9 books that he co-authored. They all are sold to different MBA courses in the country. And he is among the most highly rated researcher with high H index of 91, which is envious to everybody. And he also is fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering, INA. Now coming to one of the very younger friend and my very illustrious student who is currently leading one of the very good company as a enterprise, you can say startup, called Let's Transport.in. And the man who is behind its chief operating officer is none other than the Pratik Pujari. Pratik was my student. He worked with me, published a paper, then joined HUL, and later on did his MBA from the Wharton. And almost now doing wonderful thing by developing platforms where more than 35,000 trucks are onboarded. And I always quote their example that how the brilliant mind in India, they can turn from employee to employer and also run a very successful enterprise, which will get the foundation of bringing down the cost of logistics to almost 8 to 9%. And Pratik, we are waiting for your such a noble contribution in days to come. And we are thankful to you that you accepted to join this program. Of course, Puskar and you are integral part. I know it very well. So for you, both of us are equally important. And your visit to Bombay is due as early as possible. Please come. Otherwise, penalty will be very high. Correct? So this is one thing. And now, sir, Professor David, that course that you are going to cover, sir, I know very well people are waiting to know more about that course. And I'm sure that you should start with the supply chain dynamics, which is one of the very nicely you always explain. Second module covers supply chain dynamics with many other details like how push pull, other smart strategies that you cover. And then integration of supply chain with the help of some SNOP and all other tools that you described along with some analytics is another part of the coverage that will be there. In addition to that, supply chain resiliency, digitization, and the supply chain sustainability along with your key model of stress test, which is very famous in the world. So all such details will be discussed and hopefully the student and participants and industry professionals whom I rate and regard very high because they always join our platform and give us credence and respect so that we can continue with the newer innovation in our courses and that will go to their practices in the industry. So with this note, Professor David and my dear friends, I just want to stop here and request Basla to continue with the next step of the inaugural ceremony. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Director Sir, for your inspiring words. Now, with great pleasure, I invite Professor David Simchi Levy, our lead instructor for the course, to share his thoughts. He is the director of the Data Science Lab at MIT, USA, and the former editor-in-chief of Management Science and Operations Research, two prestigious Informs journals. Professor Simchi Levy is a renowned expert in supply chain analytics and decision science. He founded Logic Tools, now part of IBM, and later co-founded Ops Rules and Analytics, which is now a part of Accenture. In 2023, he was elected a member of National Academy of Engineering for his contributions to the field. This course marks his 16th collaboration with IIM Mumbai, following the success of 15 global online certification courses in supply chain management and data analytics. The GOC program has attracted over 22,000 participants from 18 plus countries with nearly 17,000 participants taught by Professor Simchi himself. Sir, it is an honor to have you with us. We invite you to share your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Professor Manoj, for organizing, trusting, and building such an incredible program. Just a little bit about my background. I've been very fortunate to work with amazing PhD students from all over the world, including from India at MIT, as well as businesses across multiple industries. The class here benefits from all the collaboration and work that we have done together. But this class would not have happened without the message, the phone calls, the emails that I received at the beginning of the pandemic from Professor Manoj, who initiated this collaboration. What you see today is a result of collaborating with, at that time, it was called NITI, now IIM Mumbai, focusing on supply chain, business analytics, generative AI, with so far 15 classes that included about 20,000+ participants from India, from Asia, and in fact from Europe and the US. This specific class that we are focusing on is motivated by a discussion that Professor Manoj and I had maybe a couple of months ago, identifying some of the challenges that companies face today. This is not about what they face in the past. This is about what companies struggle today. And these challenges include things that you know well: geopolitical instability and trade uncertainties that motivate companies to look for different strategies. I'll talk a little bit about that in the next couple of minutes, but just this highlight an enormous opportunity for a country like India. Well, that's one important challenge and an opportunity. The second is labor shortage, with people after the beginning of COVID starting to depart the labor market. Rising cost, the cost of energy, the cost of transportation, the cost of material, and lack of visibility upstream in the supply chain. All of these challenges require, this came out with Professor Manoj highlighting, that these challenges require companies to focus on efficiency, cut costs, to focus on resiliency, to be able to respond to any disruption, and productivity, to do more with fewer people. The problem, of course, as came up in our discussion, is that these are conflicting objectives. For example, if you want to increase the resiliency of your supply chain, you need more inventory, you need more redundancy, but this does not come free. And so as you increase the resiliency, you also increase your cost. The only way to address these challenges is to combine data, models, and analytics, and there are multiple levels of sophistication that we will focus on here. And this is, in my opinion, where the opportunity for India can make a big impact. As companies are trying to identify what to do next with all the conflicts and challenges between China and the US, India comes as a big opportunity. But in order for India to realize this opportunity, you need the appropriate infrastructure, you need the appropriate technology, you need the appropriate processes and people that can deal with the challenges, technology, and processes. And that's what this class will focus on. As Professor Manoj mentioned, we will start with supply chain dynamic, but very quickly focus on data-driven supply chain decision-making, highlighting end-to-end supply chain and procurement strategies, focusing on supply chain resiliency, and then talking about state-of-the-art technology by bringing together data for predictive analytics, optimization for making decisions, and generative AI for automating and explaining decisions. I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward to the next 6 weeks where we will collaborate. We will give you a few data-driven assignments that hopefully you will be able to work on. And the team that is working with Professor Manoj and myself will identify a few participants to present their analysis. So we will see how different people analyze the data that we provide and compare and contrast the different strategies. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward for our class.
Thank you, Professor David, for your insightful words. It is always an honor and enriching experience to hear from you. Now, it is our honor to welcome Professor Ravi Shankar, Department of Management Studies at IIT Delhi. Professor Ravi Shankar is a professor with higher academic grade in Department of Management Studies at IIT Delhi. His research interest includes operation and supply chain management, business analytics and optimization, project management, and technology management and innovation. He has published over 300 research papers in international journals of repute and co-authored 9 books, including 4 most popular textbooks in the area of supply chain management, operation management, and management of technology and strategic management of technology innovation. His research citation exceeds 48,000 with H index of 91 as of July 2025. This research productivity is highest in any business school of India. Recently, he has been ranked as 1 in India and ranked 101 globally by research.com in the domain of business and management. Please join me in welcoming Professor Ravi Shankar to share his thoughts with us.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Sir, you are audible, sir. Go ahead.
So, good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to be part of this special occasion, which is the inauguration of the Global Online Certification Program on Smart Supply Chain Management 2025, organized by IIM Mumbai. Let's begin by congratulating Professor Manoj Tiwari, the director of IIM Mumbai, for his vision in bringing together academic excellence and real-world relevance in this program. And of course, it's a privilege to share this stage, even virtually, with Professor David Simchi-Levy, whose work in the supply chain area has inspired generations of researchers and industry leaders alike. Also, greetings to distinguished guests from industry, Mr. Jagdish ji and Mr. Pushkar ji. Today, more than ever before, supply chain strategies are at the center of business transformation. Supply chain is capable of influencing customer experience, business agility, sustainability, and even nation building. We are looking forward to improving logistics cost in every possible way. PM Gati Shakti and the National Logistics Policy in India are laying the foundation for a modern logistics and supply chain ecosystem in our country. One of our studies indicated that we need many skilled professionals in the supply chain area who can design, manage, and optimize the supply chain networks in the real world. And that's what makes this program very special and timely. It is designed to equip the professionals not just with technical knowledge, but with decision-making skills rooted in the system thinking. I'm sure the course that we all are going to see in next few weeks would help in better designing and managing smart supply chain. To me, smart supply chain especially, are digitally intelligent, highly interconnected, and it can leverage the real-time data, advanced analytics, automation, and collaboration technologies. The purpose is to enhance responsiveness, efficiency, sustainability, and resilience across the value network. It represents a paradigm shift from a traditional linear model to circular, adaptive, and anticipatory system. Based on my experience, I can see 5 pillars on which a smart supply chain need to be designed and built and operated. The first pillar, according to me, is the cognitive decision making. Now, it involves use of AI, ML, and predictive analytics. I was fortunate to attend some of the previous courses of Professor David, and he has explained it in so much detail and meticulousness that I'm sure this course is going to equip you in this aspects, but that is cognitive decision making. Second important pillar is sensor-based visibility. Now that requires technologies like IoT, Internet of Things, RFID, and digital twin. Third and important pillar, once again, is trust and traceability. That may require technologies like blockchain and smart contracts. Now, this is an area where India needs to develop a little more. Then the fourth is sustainability orientation. That requires circular economy, net zero logistics. And just to point it out, India has a very strong commitment, especially in the COP summit, which Prime Minister attended and President Joe Biden also attended in Glasgow. Now we had a very strong commitment towards the net zero logistics. And the fifth important pillar is human machine synergy. That requires smart warehousing, cobots, and digital assistants. In fact, if we see the transitions that are taking place from Industry 4.0 to Industry 5.0 on the manufacturing side, now in Industry 5.0, the human centricity has again come back to the focus. So there are these are undoubtedly ushering the next wave of transformation in the supply chain area. The smart supply chain, according to me, do not chase speed alone. They are designed for trust, transparency, and transformation. And on a very learning notes side, what gets sensed gets synchronized. What gets synchronized gets smart. So we'll see that in this course, we will get the building blocks of the smart supply chain, and visibility is the speed of intelligence in a supply network. On the technology side of it, there are two major changes that has taken place in the recent past. One is the agentic AI, which refers to software agent that can make the decisions on our behalf and take actions. For example, automatic derouting of the shipment due to weather delays, due to weather problem, or adjusting inventory levels based on the demand trends, which are changing every now and then. Very importantly, supply chain decisions in general are dynamic in nature, meaning thereby that one prescription wouldn't work for every situation. So in that case, the technologies like agentic AI, another is the generative AI, which uses advanced model to create new insights, documents, and scenarios. So in a supply chain context, this could mean auto-generating supplier reports, simulating disruptions scenario, and helping design logistics network to perform better. So our supply chain decisions, I think some of these technologies will be more proactive, efficient, and adaptive. Now the question is, how do we apply these innovations in the Indian context? So our country presents a unique mix, urban and rural, formal, informal, centralized, and fragmented. And logistics in India is also much more complex than many developed countries. But the complexity also creates a room for innovation, from delivery apps in tier 2 cities to electric vehicles in the urban freight. We are already seeing India-specific solutions powered by technology. To harness this potential, we need new kinds of talent, people who are technology aware, people who are grounded in the practical realities, people who are trained in system thinking, and people who are able to bridge the data, decisions, and delivery gaps. And this course, I can assure you, is going to help in more than, in many ways, to equip us to be a better manager. So I think I can stop here in Indian with a few sites that many Indian companies, to my knowledge, are already into it about this smart supply chains. They are using it for network design. They are using it for inventory management. They are using it for making the supply chain resilient. And industry awareness is certainly there, but the adoption at some points they need little bit of fine tuning. And with our good friend David here, I am very much sure that this course will help all the participants. Once again, I would like to end my address by a very small quotation. See, I teach quality management also, and one of the things that I have learned that repeat order is a surrogate measure of customer satisfaction. Now, this course, as organizers have shared, that this is probably the 16th course that we are witnessing. Now, the repeat of the course can never be possible, and more than 20,000 plus participants cannot be trained unless there is a great amount of satisfaction amongst the past participants. So, Dr. Professor David, I must assure you, you need no certification, so many repeat orders, and so many participants, and it goes without saying it's 100% successful, and you have a large number of satisfied participants. Hats off to you, and thank you for sparing time for such a valuable course for India and also globally, people who are participating. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. It is a privilege to welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Pratik Pujari, a visionary leader with extensive experience in supply chain, operation, and business strategy. He brings with him a track record of driving innovation and transformation across startups and established global organizations. Mr. Pujari currently serves as the Chief Operating Officer at Less Transport, a leading tech-enabled logistic platform. Under his leadership, Let's Transform has scaled rapidly from becoming India's largest enterprise urban logistic provider with a fleet of over 10,000 LCVs and a clientele that includes brands like Amazon and Coca-Cola. He has played a pivotal role in charting the company's growth strategy, enhancing service levels, and launched new products, helping shape the 30 billion urban logistics landscape in India. Prior to this, Mr. Pujari has worked at Unilever, where he has held leadership roles in manufacturing and supply chain, leading teams of over 250 people, launching new product variants across South Asia and winning prestigious awards for sustainability and manufacturing excellence. Mr. Pujari is an Mr. Pujari is an alumnus of both the Wharton School, where he pursued his MBA, and IIT Kharagpur, where he completed his BTech in mechanical engineering. He exemplifies the integration of deep technical expertise with strategic business thinking. His presence today is truly invaluable. Let us warmly welcome Mr. Pujari to share his thoughts with us.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here today. Before I start, Professor Tiwari, I completely acknowledge that our visit to Mumbai and IIM Mumbai is long overdue. So we will definitely plan that as soon as possible, and we would love to visit IIM Mumbai sometime soon. But to start off with, it's a real honor to be here today as a part of this inauguration of this particular program. I'm especially humbled to be on a platform with two of the most distinguished names in the world of supply chain academia, Professor David Simchi Levy, name synonymous with supply chain innovation at MIT, and Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, one of the most respected academic voices in systems and operations, and someone personally who has helped me shape my career over the last 2 decades. So it's a great honor to be here today. I would like to start off by congratulating IIM Mumbai for conceptualizing this program, because I believe that this is just not a course. It's a it's a strategic step towards building logistics and supply chain leadership in India, which is required from the perspective of Viksit Bharat 2047. I'll just take 5-7 minutes of all your time. First, by sort of going through what my experience in supply chain has been over the last 10 decades, over the last decade, 10 years in at Let's Transport, and why I believe that this particular program is extremely relevant right now for all of us. Um, Over the last decade, while running Let's Transport, which is basically a technology-driven logistics platform, I can confidently say that we are living in an era of logistics disruption. With the advent of e-commerce in the last decade and quick commerce over the last couple of years, the logistics landscape has transformed beyond imagination. I think anyone who was there in 2010, if you would have sort of asked them how they see logistics happening in India in 2025, I think no one would have imagined what the tremendous scale of transformation that has happened over the last 15 years. Logistics, which used to earlier be just a back-end support function and a mere cost center for most of the companies, and I have experienced that during my time at Unilever, has now emerged as a strategic driver for customer experience, business agility, and national competitiveness. The evolution of logistics is no longer limited to just fleet management, GPS monitoring, and warehousing. We are solving much more complex programs and problems. One such example is the fact that when I was in Unilever, earlier it used to be push-based deliveries to general trade customers, typically and Unilever used to command or dictate when the replenishment used to happen. But now it's completely transformed to pull-based sort of deliveries. Now we have to enable hyper-local deliveries within 2 hours, not only to general trade, but to modern trade platforms, to e-commerce platforms, to quick commerce platforms, as well as to these retail giants' own D2C platforms. This has become a much more multidimensional complex problems to solve as on today. We are also discussing how to bring green logistics models into transportation and into logistics without inflating costs so that we are moving towards sustainability, but not at a very high cost. We are also now looking of how to predict demand surges and reroute vehicles dynamically, so to take into account the traffic and weather variations which are there at a very, very small span of time. And frankly speaking, these are not hypothetical questions. These could have been hypothetical questions 15 years back, but nowadays these are practical challenges that we face day in, day out at Let's Transport. And for that matter, for any other company who is in this space in the last few years. Smart supply chain management, as the title suggests, is just not a trend. It is a fundamental shift, a shift from linear silo supply chains to digitally connected and agile ecosystems. At Let's Transport, I'll just share a real world example with you. Today, we operate across 30 cities across India. We have a registered base of around 200,000 trucks. On a daily basis, around 15,000 trucks are plying on a daily basis. These are across some of the largest FMCG, e-commerce, quick commerce, and retail brands we serve across India. The complexity of urban logistics is manifold today. This unpredictable traffic, its real-time demand fluctuations, and the service level expectations of consumers has just skyrocketed over the last decade. This requires more than just manual coordination. That's why at Let's Transport, we have embedded IoT-enabled sensors, AI-powered route optimizations, as well as machine learning algorithms into our operations. These technologies allow us to dynamically reroute vehicles, predict delays, and optimize capacity in real time. And as a result, what we have been able to do, and obviously it is a journey, it's a journey that will continue going, but what we have been able to do over the last decade is reduce idle time for our vehicles by around 20%, have tried to consistently deliver 95% plus on-time delivery performance, despite the ever-increasing complexity of the supply chain around us. At the same time, we have also tried to significantly bring down the last-mile delivery costs. But the most important thing is that we have tried to improve the customer experience by ensuring faster, more reliable, and greener logistics, which we believe is the future of supply chain excellence. And I genuinely believe that this is the power of smart logistics, where decision making is not reactive, but it is proactive and predictive, where data flows are not on spreadsheets, but they are real time, where every delay, every detour, and every demand spike is a data point which is used to improve the system and used to sort of drive predictability in the future. But why is this transformation so critical today? Because India is changing, and it is changing fast. It's changing at a scale beyond imagination. And with initiatives like PM Gati Shakti, Make in India, and National Logistics Policy, we are laying the physical and digital infrastructure for a new logistics era. But infrastructure alone isn't enough. What we need is talent. Professionals trained in systems thinking, optimization techniques, and digital tools who can run these networks efficiently and innovatively. I am a firm believer that it's the people that make or break an organization, and it couldn't be truer as in today, especially related to supply chain functions and companies. And that's where programs like these sort of come in. They equip professionals with global perspectives and Indian contextual insights. This course becomes a force multiplier for the entire economy. I'd like to take a moment to appreciate Professor David Simchi Levy's contribution to the global logistics community. His frameworks, from the risk exposure index to his work on supply chain resilience post COVID, have influenced not just academia, but the way leading corporations like Dell and Amazon manage risk and optimize supply. And with Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari leading from the this collaboration is a shining example of global local synergy in action. Professor Tiwari is globally renowned for his contributions to system engineering, logistics optimization, and smart manufacturing. His influence extends far beyond Indian academia. He was recently invited as a distinguished speaker at MIT's Global Supply Chain Summit and has also served on strategic advisory boards for policy think tanks in Europe as well as Southeast Asia, helping shape resilient supply chain frameworks post-COVID. His emphasis on bridging academic research with real life and real world business challenges, this is something that I experienced while working with him at IIT Kharagpur, has made IIM Mumbai a catalyst for grooming future ready, tech savvy supply chain leaders who can thrive in both Indian and global contexts. Now let's reflect on something deeper. Why does smart supply chain management matter just beyond efficiency? And I, again, the reason why we are in this particular industry, Pushkar, we started Let's Transform in this particular industry is that it's just not pure operations, but supply chain is something that touches lives day in, day out. Each and every consumer, each and every buyer. For example, when vaccines need to reach remote villages within specific temperature thresholds, especially during COVID, it was supply chain that was running at the back. When farmers depend on timely fertilizer and seed deliveries, it is supply chain that has to sort of enable them. When urban kirana stores, especially in today's time of quick commerce, rapid commerce, e-commerce, need just in-time replenishment to serve daily customers, it is supply chain which is running at the back. Hence, efficient supply chains are just not about business, they are about social impact. And in a country like India, where logistics inefficiencies still account for 13 to 14% of India's GDP, smart solutions can create transformative outcomes, reducing costs, improving access, and creating jobs. In this way, every professional trained in this course contributes not just to the company and organizational goals, but also to the broader vision of Viksit Bharat, a self-aligned, globally competitive India by 2047. And last but not the least, I would like to offer some advice to all the participants of this particular course. This is again through my personal experience over the last decade, as well as hearing from mentors like Professor Tiwari. As you embark on this 6-week journey, don't just learn tools, learn to think in systems. Don't just focus on technology, focus on use cases and value delivery. And this is the most important, engage in peer learning, case discussions, and project work. Because supply chain collaboration is everything across departments, across companies, across countries. The beauty of supply chain management is that it is multidisciplinary in nature. You will not only touch operations, but you will be touching finance, strategy, sustainability, customer experience, and analytics all at once. It's the nervous system of the business world. And from an entrepreneur's point of view, and again, this is something that I completely truly believe, innovation and disruption in logistics has just started. And this is what drives us personally for the next decade, for the next couple of decades in terms of building out Let's Transport. It's not always glamorous. You're dealing with delays, breakdowns, regulations, cost pressures, drivers not arriving on time, etc., etc., etc. But in the real world, solving these unsexy problems actually creates true enterprise value. Some of the most exciting startups today across India as well as globally are in supply chain technology. They are into EV logistics, they're into cold chain utilization, they're into warehouse optimization, as well as AI-based planning tools. The opportunity landscape, I cannot stress this enough, the opportunity landscape is tremendous. So whether you're in operations today or transitioning from another domain, what you learn here opens doors to leadership roles, through entrepreneurial journeys as well as impactful careers. In conclusion, I would like to thank IIM Mumbai for inviting me here as a guest of honor. It's heartening to see academic institutions stepping up to address industry-relevant challenges through globally collaborative, high-impact programs like this. To all the learners, the future of supply chain is in your hands. Let's build a future that is smarter, faster, greener, and more inclusive. Thank you once again, and I wish all of you a successful and enlightening journey ahead.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful words. We are privileged to welcome Dr. Jagdish Kunche, a distinguished leader and global expert in end-to-end SCM operations, including demand planning, fulfillment, logistics, warehouse management, inventory optimization, and cost-to-serve efficiency. Dr. Jagdish serves as Executive Vice President, Supply Chain and Logistics at ITC Limited, overseeing the comprehensive supply chain operation for the company's FMCG business. He holds a master's degree in industrial engineering from IIM Mumbai, batch of 1997, and a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. Mr. Jagdish is a certified supply chain professional with a CPIM certification, APICS. Dr. Jagdish is a frequent invited speaker and advisory member at leading supply chain forums, including the Economic Times Supply Chain and Logistics Management Conference. He is known for an insights shared on modern SCM topics such as IoT, big data, and lean logistics strategies. Without further ado, let's welcome our chief guest, Dr. Jagdish Kunche, to share his thoughts with us.
Okay, thank you very much. I think first of all, let me correct that case. So I am not a doctor. So I am not yet a doctorate. So that hopefully maybe it might happen someday. So you are predicting their future, I think. Okay. Okay, first of all, thank you very much, Professor Tiwari. There, that I'm very honored there to share the dais there with Professors David and you. So I had the opportunity there to interact there with Professor Levy during one of our organization interactions there with him sometime back there, maybe 3-4 years back. That could take. So we had invited him there to speak there, that he as a part of our annual session. So that we did interact there for a brief while. So what has struck me was that so the supply chain risk model that can take what he talked about, and particularly he talked about resilience. Particularly this is post-COVID or something like that. So thanks, Professor Levy. I think it's a great part there to interact there with you. I'm sure that you will be sharing a lot of your experience and learnings there with all the participants there in this course. And I would like to thank Professor Tiwari for taking an initiative like this there, which is not only it's not only purely academic, but it is involving a lot of people there from the industry. It is there to educate industry professionals there on the latest technologies, and also like the processes. Now, it is very interesting there to see NITI, IIM Mumbai collaborating there with NSDC there to promote programs like this. So these programs will definitely help there in addressing the challenge what we had there in terms of supply chain talent there, who are people who are well trained there on systems thinking, optimization techniques, and then also people who can manage future. So now, as we all understand, technology is changing the way that the supply chains are run. So earlier there, when I go back there 25 years back there, when I started, I thought when I was asked there to speak there by Professor Tiwari, I thought that what will I do there among the distinguished professors there and academics there who are there doing this program. But then I thought that, okay, let me share a different perspective there from a practitioner's perspective. So that what is smart supply chain, they're all about there, how smart it is there in terms of delivering value there to the businesses. So I thought that I will share my perspective there onto that. So when I go back there 25 years back, that we thought that supply chain was not as glamorous as it is today, thanks to all these e-com companies, some of these e-com companies and the startups, therefore making it a most sought after kind of a job. So we always knew operations, and then in 97, I think probably that is the time that when in India people were creating supply chain function as such. So when I was posted, that I was initially posted there in Madras. So then I was like, we used to think that it's an end of line posting. So people who were posted there in supply chain were there used to think that okay, this guy, yeah, we'll try out. Before, prior to us, it was like that. First time that we were put up there in this role, supply chain. Then suddenly that things started changing. Then we talked about optimization, which nobody understood there in the organization. There, like it was looked upon like it's a complete German kind of topic that what it was like. So from there it started. So now in today's scenario, now you all know it there that where supply chain is not any longer a back-end function. It is treated as an enabler there for business, and then it is key there to your customer experience. And in a nutshell, if I have to put it, probably one of my earlier chairman has put it there. We were having a discussion that point of time. He has said, so it is the differentiator. So in marketing, in pricing, that your competitor can copy you. In terms of that getting, in terms of marketing strategy, then people can copy you and then overtake you. But if you have supply chain competence there, an advantage, I think probably it will take time there for people there to replicate it, because this is involved there with three things: people, processes, and systems. And now that I think we have to add technology there to that. So it's not easy there to replicate. So it gives a lot of advantage there to companies. And obviously that could take it. My stint there at ITC is there for the last 18 years. So like I have seen it there myself, that how a smart supply chain, how technology can add value there to your supply chain, and how it can become a smart supply chain. So now what are we talking about? We are talking about that we run in today's scenario, we run across 36 odd categories, the FMCG businesses. So these are 36 different businesses. So every business is different. Some business, your availability has to be 99.99%. Some of these businesses where your supply chain costs are as high as 25%. So these are the type of challenges. And then added to this, you have got channel complexity. You have got an e-commerce channel, you have got a quick commerce channel where you have to deliver every day, where your variability is a way of life. So it's not earlier that variability, we used to, in the initial stages, we used to think that if there is a variability, then why there is a high variability. But in today's scenario, it's a norm of the day for certain channels, e-commerce, and then you have got modern trade, and you have got traditional trade. So you have got multiple channels, and also that key, thanks to the preferences, customer preferences changing. So now there are a lot of emergence of niche SKUs where you have further challenge, where your lot size, manufacturing lot sizes are much smaller. So you have to produce in smaller lot, you have to ship it in smaller lot, and then thereby that your whole network becomes much more complex, and then your whole business is there at stake if you're not able to meet these requirements. So now how do we do all these things? So what we were able to do is this: we were one of the early people there that who embraced technology. So now how do we sell? How do we replenish? How do we move? Everything is driven there by technology. So just to give you some of the examples there. So our customers, our distributors take an order there on a daily basis. We do a continuous replenishment there to them. On a daily basis, by night, their orders are getting synced there into our system. So thereby that next day from midnight onwards, there till the next day afternoon, your shipments there to the customers are finished. So this, I think that we did start this process there in 2007 or so. So it has completely there helped us there in terms of improving our customer fill rates there to high 90s. So that's a big business, and it has reduced our out of stock significantly. So this is one advantage. Now, how is it evolving there in today's scenario? Now, today that we are talking about smart. What is smart? Smart is that what we think is that basically you have to be predictive, you have to be adaptive, and then you have to sustain. So basically we are talking about PAS, predictive, adaptive, and then sustainable. So these things, so now when I talk about these things, some of the examples that where we have used, and all this is aided there by technology. So now we tried to apply technologies there into different areas. I'll give you some cases. So when it is when we are forecasting the demand, earlier that we used to have all the mathematical models. We used to use the mathematical models there for doing forecasts. But these mathematical models, pure mathematical models, become irrelevant there in today's scenario. Particularly there that when you are able to accuracy levels, particularly when you have a high variability, these models don't work. Then this is where the machine learning models and then AI enabled forecasts, this has added value there to us. So this has helped us there in improving our numbers. When it comes to the warehouses, where distribution centers, large distribution centers we run, where a lot more depends there on the efficiencies gets generated there on the basis of a path a picker takes it, or that the path your route your trucks take. These are the areas earlier that people used to do it manually, but now that thanks to the technology and then particularly that machine learning enabled algorithms, these algorithms help us there in terms of optimizing this cost. In terms of our networks, continuously that network optimization is a continuous exercise there there in industries like us, where particularly in case of certain kind of commodities where the prices changes there day by day. So those cases, your networks keep on changing there dynamically. Now, all this has to be driven there by integrated kind of technology. So that's where I think that the smart, what we are calling is all this integrated there into one particular piece. This is what is smart. Now, having said that, now any kind of technology, any kind of supply chain system doesn't work there without the help of the biggest element, the people. The people who are driving the process, these are there at the center. They are the ones that who will make it or break it. So irrespective of the best technologies we have put in some cases that kit has failed because the application was not there, that can people were not adaptive there to change. There were examples. So now this is one area that where I think we have to take people there along. We have to focus there on people, process, and then systems there that this everything has to be led there by data and technology, assisted there by technology. So this is how I think we have gained value. But now I think how are the things evolving now? Now this is that supply chain is ever changing, as Pratik has also put it there that now it is like it is becoming there more resilient. People are expecting there that take a supply chains there to be more resilient, and also that they are circular there in terms of that sustainability has to be a integral part of your supply chain in today's scenario. And visibility is a given kind of thing. Maybe 10 years back that people were talking about visibility was a nice to have kind of a phenomenon, but in today's scenario, if you don't have visibility across your supply chain, you are dead. So last but not the least, the consumer preferences are changing. This data is getting integrated there, and then he's helping you there to sense the demand, and then thereby that model your supply chains there according to this, particularly model your networks there according to this. So these are all things there that could take like changing there. These are the trends which are emerging. So now as a part of this program, I think that I'm sure that Professor Levy is going to cover a lot of these things there in terms of resilient and how do you make your supply chains resilient, and how do you make it smart, and then how do you simulate and think about the different scenarios, and most importantly bring in the system thinking there as a whole. So to all my the participants, I think that it's a great opportunity there to learn. So I would urge all of you there that there to whether you are an industry professional or whether you are an academician. So it's a great opportunity there to look at these things, there learn these things, and then apply this concept, some of the theories and concepts that what you have learned there over here, there into your real life, and collaborate there with your peer group. I think that peer learning is one of the things that where you gain more there within a short span of time, and reinvent some of the practices that whatever you are currently practicing there in your existing work streams. So now, last but not the least, India there that is poising there for a growth, and we are already the fourth largest economy there in the world. So we are no longer there building supply chains there for India, but we are building supply chains for the world from India. So and then we have got the biggest kind of advantage there in terms of talent pool. We have got their advantage there in terms of government push, whether it is Gati Shakti policy, or that whether it is a national logistics policy or the infrastructure development, everything is happening there at a faster pace. And I am sure there that these are all going to help us. More importantly, that we are we have got a very young and soulful type of country there, young country, people full of country full of young people. So and this is going to give a great advantage there to us, and so that let's make our supply chains there that more agile, they're adaptive, and then that is sustainable. So thank you very much, Professor Tiwari and Professor Levy, and my other co-speakers there for giving me this opportunity there to share some of my thoughts. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so for your inspiring and insightful words. I thank all our guests for such inspiring and encouraging words. We at IIM Mumbai will continue to add more value to businesses and help them make their presence feel global. Now I invite our faculty coordinator, Professor Nikhil Ghag, for the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Indian Institute of Management Mumbai, it is my great honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for today's inaugural session of Global Online Certification course on Smart Supply Chain Management 2025. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Jagdish Kunche, Executive Vice President, Supply Chain and Logistics, ITC Limited, for taking the time to grace this event and sharing deep insights on supply chain transformation. A special thanks to our guest of honor, Mr. Pratik Pujari, CEO co-founder of Let's Transport, for his inspirational address and for highlighting the real-world innovation in India's logistic landscape. We are also immensely thankful to our keynote speaker, Professor Ravi Shankar, from the Department of Management Studies, IIT Delhi, for his scholarly perspective and invaluable knowledge that enriched this gathering. Our deepest appreciation goes to Professor David Simchilevi, Director of Data Science Lab at MIT, and our lead course instructor, for his continued partnership with IIM Mumbai and his vision for shaping future-ready supply chain leaders. We are especially grateful to our director, Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari sir, for his visionary leadership and encouragement that made this course and event possible. We would also like to thank our course partner, NSDC National Skill Development Corporation, and EduTech partner, Masai School. I also thank our course coordinators and a host team, including Ms. Vatsala and our student coordinator, Harsh, for their seamless organization and presentation. Last but not least, I extend sincere thanks to all our distinguished faculty coordinators, participants, and every team member who worked tirelessly behind the scene to make this launch a great success. Let us carry forward the spirit of learning and collaboration as we embark on this transformative journey together. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before ending the inaugural session, I would request everyone to turn on their cameras for a photograph. Thank you, everyone. We will have a break of 10 minutes and I request all the participants to join back for the lecture with Professor David, sir. And we also have an announcement right now.
So let me thanks to all my visiting guests, David sir, Jagdish ji, Ravi Shankar Saab and Pratik for coming to our platform on this inaugural function. So again, sir, we meet you at some day, sometimes, and take your advice and suggestions to improve this course. Huh? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
so much,
very
sir.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor David. That I'll be in touch there. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So we have some important announcement for all the participants. So some clear instructions for all the external attendees for this course. There is a minimum attendance criteria for all the students, and all the external students needs to attend at least 9 out of 12 lectures live. The minimum duration for one particular lecture that you need to at least attend is 105 minutes for your attendance to get captured for that particular lecture. Every external participant needs to attempt at least 3 out of 5 quizzes, which will be shared and communicated to you in due course of time, and pass these examinations and quizzes successfully for consideration towards successful completion of the course. Please note the instruction which I said is only applicable for all the external candidates of this course. We will also share a supplementary website link wherein all the course material and the recordings will also be there over the emails that will be shared after the lectures. I'll shortly give you a walkthrough of the supplementary website. Now, for all the internal students of IIM Mumbai, you need to attend you need to keep a minimum attendance of 85%, that is at least 25.5 hours for successful completion of this course, and your examination schedule and successful completion criteria will be communicated to you via official channels in the subsequent days. I will quickly like to take this opportunity to present the supplementary website to you all and give you a quick walkthrough of the same. So the meeting, after the lecture is completed, we will be sharing the link of this particular supplementary website. You can navigate through the website to find all the necessary details regarding the module and which session will be having what topics being covered in them, and all the necessary details for the course. You can navigate to the Learning Companion tab, wherein we will be having the lecture thumbnails updated every week after the lectures are completed. You can click on these lectures, and inside them we will be attaching required documents and papers which will be providing you additional informations and knowledge materials for the course which are of concern for that particular day's lecture. These are currently inactive, but within few hours of completion of a lecture, these learning companion links will be activated and you can make use of them. Thank you. That's all from our side. You have a 10 minutes break from now, after which we can connect again.